Down, 3 to go, 11 o'clock hour coming up next. And I don't know that there is a better way to kick off the 11 o'clock hour than with Jacob Wilson, all-star shortstop, A's shortstop, the first A's all-star starter since 2014. Jacob, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Friday.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's start here, Jacob. You've had a little bit of bad luck. I would say the only thing that hasn't gone right for you this season has been these hit by pitch situations. It happened earlier this season and most recently a couple days ago. How are you feeling, and do you think you'll be able to play in the game next week?
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate for sure, but I'm just kind of getting treatment with the trainers and trying to get the swelling down. It's feeling better kind of every day. So I'm just, taking it day by day and, I'm feeling pretty confident that, I'll be able to play, this weekend here in Sacramento. So definitely feeling good for next week.
Talking to Jacob Wilson, A's shortstop, all-star shortstop. Thank you very much. Jacob, you're not the only all-star on the A's. Brent Rooker is going to be out there in Atlanta, also a part of the Home Run Derby. How fun is it to be able to share this with somebody else on the team? And you're going to be out there, I'm sure, cheering him on during the Home Run Derby as well. How great is that?
Yeah, I know it's awesome. He's definitely very deserving of, getting into this all-star game with the season that he's having, with him getting in with the player vote. He is, it's going to be really fun to be able to share this experience with him. And obviously he gets to do the Home Run Derby, and it's super exciting for me, as a teammate, being able to kind of just go out there and watch him on the field and, hopefully, give him some Gatorade at his timeout, give him towels and just be able to enjoy it and, help him out as much as I can.
Talking to Jacob Wilson, A's all-star shortstop. Let's take it back a little bit, Jacob. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've been following you for a long time, and I knew the A's had something good. Your time at Grand Canyon. By the way, I keep telling people, look out for Grand Canyon. It's such a beautiful campus. They're starting to pop up in March Madness, and I know they got a great field, a beautiful field out there at Grand Canyon. So I've been doing the Lord's work, Jacob, as when it comes to promoting Grand Canyon. And I didn't even go there, but I've been following you for a long time. Let's discuss the batting stance. I've heard you talk about it before, and going back to, it's not as conventional as you may have seen. I think it kind of reminds me of Hunter Pence a little bit. How did you kind of come up with it with you and your dad as you were learning the game and just deciding to stick with it and go from there?
Yeah, honestly, I can't remember the first time we actually kind of decided to do it, but ever since I was a kid, I've always kind of been very, twitchy in the box. I wasn't really an athlete that was very good at, standing still and being quiet almost in the box. But I always had to be kind of moving, kind of being twitchy, and that's kind of always how I've been able to hit and do everything. I've always got to be moving, and I think for us, it's just when I kind of load into my legs, it kind of right where I stride, it kind of resembles a basketball defender in a way. Just being able in that stance where it's kind of the most powerful for me and being the most explosive. So, like I said, I don't remember the first time I think I've ever done it. I've always just been, kind of twitchy in the box ever since I was a little kid. I think that's just something my dad always kind of taught me because he was a little twitchy in the box as well. So, I think that's just something that I kind of grew up with and, kind of stuck to this entire time.
Well, to say that it's working would be an understatement. Obviously, it has worked out incredibly well for you so far. Talking to all-star Jacob Wilson, all-star shortstop. Jacob, I was at Sutter Health doing some Rivercat stuff when it was announced that you were going to be the all-star starter. Where were you when you found out, and just kind of talk us through how you felt when you got the information and got the call?
Yeah, we just finished a series in Tampa, and it was the last game of the series, so we're kind of everybody's getting on the bus, and we're about to head to the airport, and then our manager Mark Coste comes on the bus and starts talking and just it was just talking about the series in general, about how the guys battled, and it was a good series, and we obviously won the series, so they were a great team, so he was just talking, kind of giving the team some praise, and then he kind of was just like, oh yeah, and we got a first-time All-Star, Jacob Wilson. It was a pretty cool moment for me just because I was on the bus with all the guys, and it was just definitely a moment I'll never forget. And I'm just super blessed to be able to experience this event coming up, and I'm just super excited to represent the organization and just go out there with obviously teammate Brent Rooker and just be able to enjoy it.
You know, the only guy, Jacob, you're in a great position for the Rookie of the Year, and I called that, by the way, before the season started. But the only guy that it feels like, you know, is even also in the conversation is your teammate, Nick Kurtz. Talk about the youth movement that is happening in West Sacramento and all the guys kind of donning their jerseys. You got Lawrence Butler, who's only 25, and he seems like a grizzled vet. Talk about the youth movement out there and how fun it is to see so many guys. Now you got Denzel Clark, so many guys on the team being young and just with your whole careers ahead of you and really growing something in the A's organization.
Yeah, you know, Nick Kurtz has been incredible. Man, he got drafted last year, and obviously we got to see him in spring training a little bit, and then he started out in AAA and came up and just been an unbelievable bat for our lineup. You know, it's been awesome to have him in 3-4 or 5-hole, wherever it is, right in the middle of that lineup. And you know, like you said, there's a lot of young guys on this team, whereas they're all kind of, like you said, younger than almost 25 years old, where these guys are just, you know, got drafted a couple of years ago, and then obviously being able to make it out to the big leagues all kind of at the same time. You know, it's definitely a young group that we really enjoy being a part of, and I think it's a great sign for our future. You know, we all want to stay here and play together. Like, that's ultimately the main goal. But you know, we love playing with each other every day, and it's pretty awesome just to, you know, say I think we're, you know, one of the top youngest teams in the league, and you know, just to be able to go out there every day and know that, you know, we want to play with each other for a long time is pretty cool. And you know, we're excited to, you know, see where this ride takes us, and we're excited to be a part of it together. So it's been a great, you know, first half of the year for us, and we're excited to keep going.
Talking to Jacob Wilson, all-star shortstop for the Athletics. Jacob, back in my day, we did care about batting average, and it felt like, or it feels like, with this 3 true outcomes, you know, with the home runs, the walks, and strikeouts, that's shifted over the last, I don't know, 5 or so years. But you yourself, you kind of remind me of an old school hitter. Put the bat on the ball, and you know, you take your chances in a 2-0, 3-1 count, whatever it is, and you go from there. Is that just something that you always felt like was best for you? Were you ever kind of swayed to move into the launch angle thing, into, hey, the heck with batting average? How has your batting approach kind of changed or evolved throughout the years?
Yeah, I would say it hasn't really changed very much at all. I think that, you know, growing up, I had, you know, my dad who played in the old school baseball era, where, you know, you put the ball in play, batting average, you know, don't want to strike out. And that's just something that he obviously taught to me as a young kid growing up, throughout, you know, playing travel ball in high school and all, you know, all that, you know, stuff. But, you know, I think that putting the ball in the play has always been important for me, and not really trying to change who I am as a hitter. Cause I know that, you know, for me, I have some power to the left side, but like, for me to be able to change it into a launching, I don't have that much power to be able to, you know, change my whole hitting approach to it. So for me, it's always just being able to put the ball in play and, you know, just find a way on base. You know, I say this all the time, but if I find a way on base for my team, like we have, you know, Brent Rooker and Kurtz right behind me. It's like, if I find a way on base, those two guys are one swing away from putting 2 runs on the board themselves. So, you know, I think that everybody just kind of got to recognize what their path is in this game and try and stick to it. And, you know, for me, I've learned that my path is to be able to put the ball in play and, you know, get on base for the guys behind me. And that's kind of my job, and kind of every day trying to learn how to help my team win on a daily basis. And that for me is being able to get on base and play, you know, solid defense for the pitchers in front of me.
Talking to Jacob Wilson, all-star shortstop. And when I say all-star starting shortstop, that last part of the sentence matters. Shortstop matters. And look, I know that we're headed towards positionless baseball and people are playing center and left and it all matters, but shortstop is still a premium position. What is your mentality when you get drafted? And, you know, basically the draft is everybody up the middle, right? It's a bunch of catchers, pitchers, shortstops, and center fielders. What has your mentality been to say, hey, I'm not giving up this shortstop position? Not that you wouldn't, to do what you need to do for your team, but talk about the mentality to say, hey, I am a shortstop and I can play with the Bobby Witt Juniors, you know, the Jeremy Pena's, all these other guys in the American League. And also in my system, I'm one of those dudes.
Yeah, I think that, you know, growing up, I've always kind of been a middle infielder, and then once I got to college, it was kind of third base, shortstop for me. And I've always loved playing short. That's kind of been my favorite thing to do on the field, is just be able to go out there and take ground balls. That's something I watched my dad do for 12 years, and that's just the position I always fell in love with. And it's baseball, so you got a lot of learning to do, throughout your entire career. So I really worked on just being able to play everyday shortstop in the minor leagues with a good glove. And then obviously once you get here, it gets a little bit, more difficult. So I would really just trust in the coaches that I have here on working on pretty much everything to become a good shortstop as a whole, rather than just working on one thing. So, for me, I love playing short. That's where, my heart wants to be. And I just want to, continue to get better and work every single day to, help me become a better shortstop each and every day.
Jacob Wilson, thank you so much for joining us. We have your third base coach, Eric Martins, on the show every Tuesday, so be sure to tell him hello for me. How do you like, before I get you out of here, how do you like being in Sacramento? Do you have any spots? Do you have a favorite restaurant or food spot? How's your time in Sacramento been? I know it's getting hot, but how's your time in Sacramento been so far?
No, it's been phenomenal. The fans have given us a warm welcoming here, and we've just been really enjoying it. We love the fans. Everybody's been great to us. I haven't really gotten too many dinner spots out here yet, just because we mostly play night games, and it gets a little busy. But like I said, I'm enjoying it. I love being able to put on the uniform every day and represent the organization, and the fans come out here and support us every day. So it's been phenomenal.
Jacob Wilson, really, really appreciate the time, man. We'll have to do it again. Good luck the rest of the season. Good luck out there in Atlanta. And we really, really love supporting you and the rest of the A's. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
That was Jacob Wilson, all-star shortstop for the Athletics, the first A's all-star starter since 2014 when Josh Donaldson did it. Great stuff.